loud and moving.
And all the girlies say I'm pretty fly for a white guy.
You know it's kinda hard just to get along today. Our subject isn't cool, but he thinks it anyway. He may not have a clue and he may not have style, but everything he lacks, well, he makes up in denial. So don't defame the play us straight. You know he really doesn't get it anyway. Gonna fight our feel, keep it real. But you know way, but you know way. So if you don't break, just come and compensate. At least you know you can always go on every day. The world needs one piece of hey, hey, do that pretty thing.
Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby.
And all the girlies say I'm pretty fly.
For a white
He
guy.
needs some cool tunes, not just anywhere to fight. But they didn't have Ice Cube, so he bought Vanilla Ice. Now cruising in his Pinto, he sees homies as he passed. But if he looks twice, they're gonna kick his lily ass. So don't defame the play us straight. You know he really doesn't get it anyway. Gonna play that feel, keep it real. But you know way, but you know way. So if you don't break, just overcompensate. At least you know you can always go on regulate. The world loves one piece of hey, hey, do that pretty thing. Now he's getting a tattoo, yeah, he's getting ink done. He asked for a 13, but they drew a 31. Friends say he's trying too hard, and he's not quite hip. But in his own mind, he's the chemist track.
Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6.
So don't defame the play us right. You know he really doesn't get
What's going on, guys? It's your favorite Cosmic Warrior back at you with another galactic transmission. Actually, let's get a prayer in, and then we're gonna tap into the Christ consciousness deck. Start off with a message from that. Spirit, thank you for coming through. Thank you for guiding and protecting this message. Thank you for allowing this message to get to any and everyone that's attended to. And so it is.
I can't believe you were the one to build me up and tear me down like an old abandoned house. What you said when you left just left me cold and out of breath. As if I wasn't way too deep. Yes, I let you get the best of me. Well, I never saw it coming. I should have started running a long time ago. And I never thought I'd doubt you. I never loved you more than you know. I'm slowly getting closer. I guess it's really over.
Holy anger. You know, silence like a darkness grows. Anger. Bottled up anger is what I'm getting with that. You know, look at all the rings. It's, you know, it's anger, resentment that we hold in. We just grow another layers around it, never releasing it. But look at all the branches coming off of it. Look at everything affected by it. Everything affected by it. Look at how it makes us feel. Holy anger, be the change. To care deeply and passionately for a cause, this planet and its people, is to sometimes become disillusioned, disappointed, and full of rage at what we see happening around us. Injustice, greed, inequality, poverty, destruction, and abuse are hard to witness or experience during our time on Mother Earth. It is easy to get frustrated. However, as a human beings, we need to master how and what we do with our anger and to channel it correctly to help create a better world rather than to seek vengeance or to harm another. In Yeshua, we have a template to follow, since he himself had moments of fiercely calling out what he saw as wrong, the hypocrites of his day, including spiritual teachers who did not practice what they preached, and the money changers' tables that he overturned in the temple, calling it a den of thieves. However, he never used violence or aggression and never stooped to a lower energy. Rather, as he showed elsewhere, we are taught to turn the other cheek, meaning not to retaliate with like for like, not to meet anger with anger, but to go higher, take it to God, turn a new page, and begin again, responding with our hearts, not our fists. He showed us how to transmute and redirect our feelings of hopelessness into ones of re-education, communication, and demonstration, and demonstrating a higher way. To walk the talk, for example, to re-sanctify the temple, to steer people back to their hearts and away from those who seek to debase or are cruel in other ways. The card chosen by you today shows a mighty tree cut down to make way for humans' constant need for more. This mighty oak may have stood for hundreds of years, gifting us all breath, and having watched generations come and go. Yet in one fell swoop, it is destroyed for profit and more. How do we respond? Do we cry and rage and bang our fists? Or do we get up and go and plant another 2 trees for future generations? Do we teach our children why trees are needed, the importance of nature, and her place and right to coexist beside us? The stimulus to do this additional good stemming from an opposite trigger, which created a choice point moment as to how we could react and chose higher, not lower. You are reminded today that for whatever irks, annoys, or saddens you now, apathy is not the answer, nor is further rage, which can blind and incapacitate, preventing you from responding at all, or responding without composure or reason. Within you instead is the ever-bright flame of renewal, restoration, and a reflex to do the right thing. This may necessitate you counting to 10, breathing deeply, walking away before coming back, more settled to regenerate or renegotiate, and more. You may also be being asked to be the better person to someone else who doesn't know how. Maybe they have never been taught, have never had a role model, or have been questioned or held accountable. To walk in light is to never lose hope, to realign to a spiritual response rather than remaining in a primary physiological one stemming from how anger manifests in the body. To learn to temper our anger so that it can do good, creating motivation, impetus, to help birth new ways. This is not easy. It takes practice and can be misunderstood, but is the way out of escalating and further fighting within yourself or another, and is the pathway ultimately to peace. Use what arises wisely, currently, to create the change you seek. You know what's interesting is one thing that really stood out to me was this part right here. This mighty oak tree, this mighty oak may have stood for hundreds of years, gifting us all breath and having watched generations come and go. Yet in one fell swoop, it is destroyed for profit and more. You know, I'm being reminded of a couple years ago, you know, the house where I really had my awakening, right? I'm being brought to, you know, the storm I went out during and to talk to this tree because I was just felt led to do it, right? During this, like, it was a majestic storm. But, you know, I put my hand on that tree and then, you know, one hand on my heart, and I set my intention to tell me everything I need to know, anything and everything. You know, it's, you know, trees, you know, they live generation to generation. A lot longer than we do. And they're interconnected. And, you know, that tree held a special place in my heart, right? Really special. And I remember I went to the grocery store, right? And I ran into another gas station or something. I ran into this guy that the last time I seen him, I was still doing drugs, right? And I invited him back to the house real quick, just to check it out. I was excited. I was happy to show it off, right? But I'm showing him the outside, and this guy, you know, he works with trees. He cuts down trees for a living, right? And I'm outside, and I'm showing him this. And one of the first things this motherfucker thinks, and the first thing that he goes to his mind is how much money I can make off of this tree. And talk about cutting it down and shit. And going through my mind as soon as he's saying that, I'm like, is this motherfucker serious? Like, but how do I even explain it to him? He's not going to understand, or we could care less. He's just looking at it from a certain lens. You know, I'm looking at it from this side. I'm looking at this tree, and I'm thinking, this tree is special to me, right? And this dude's talking about just cutting it down. But for generations and generations, you know, that house remained untouched for decades, because the gentleman that owned it, you know, I think pretty sure he built the house, but then his wife shortly after passed away, and he left it exactly as it was when she decorated it. Talking two-tone wallpaper over the whole house. Like the carpet I ripped up, it was like from the 70s, and it showed, right? But everything, the whole decor was exactly as it was. And it's, you know, those trees, you know, they were there before them. They made it through the clearing down for the lot. You know, they saw his children, you know, get raised, and I'm sure the grandchildren were there too at some point too. But it's just, the meanings of things. I mean, everything means something different to everyone. And it's, you know, it's interesting. You can't expect other people to look at things the same way, because they don't experience, even if they had similar experiences, it's not the same with that one. So they can kind of, you know, relate, but they're not going to have the same true feeling that you do. You know what I mean? The true feelings that we do. But the true feelings, the anger we hold in, the anger that we suppress, you know. I felt like a kind of anger in me, just the fact that the guy would even suggest cutting down that tree. The fact that was like the first motherfucking thing that came to his mind was, let's cut this motherfucker down. And it's like, dude, what? You're not even going to sit there and just enjoy how majestic it is. It was a majestic tree. It still is. But you're just so quick, right to money. What can I sell it for? You know, it'll be one thing is, what can I make with this? What can I make with these hands? You know, but nah, let me just chop it down and sell it. Profit, quick. But quick. You know, how long that the trees take to grow. And then so quick. Just one fell swoop. Boom. Let me go get that profit. You know, but it's, well, the anger, you know, some years, you know, we have more things to be angry for than others. Other times we learn to handle our emotions better, and so we don't hold on to it. But that growth, you know, not represented. You know, it's internal growth that's not really seen, but it's noticed. You know, we forgive others because, you know, it's, you know, the release of everything. Not because they necessarily deserve it, but we don't deserve to hold on to that. You know? We don't deserve those chains. We don't deserve those bonds. We don't deserve it. You know, holding resentment, it's, you know, it's a hindrance. But, you know, our anger, you know, with practice, honing, you know, sharpening our tools, our skills, you know, our mind, because it all starts with your mind. Your mind's a battlefield. You got to win that battle first. Well, you know, we sharpen our tools. But, you know, our anger, we can learn to, one fell swoop, slice our anger down.
Taking all I can take, and I cannot wait. We're wasting too much time being strong, holding on. Can't let
Got another new deck came in today. Inner Worlds. So we're gonna pop that open and cleanse it. Look at it a little bit. Well, that's an interesting card. Inner Duality. Inner Duality. But it's like a robot. Mechanical. Inner Duality. Mechanical. Well, it's interesting. I mean, for anything mechanical to work, you know, everything has to, well, for it to work smoothly, everything is working properly. You know, but that's alignment of the light and the dark, the light and the shadow. It's a fine balance. No, it's the understanding, you know, yeah, for there to be one, there has to be the other. You can't just ignore it. You gotta embrace it. Balance it. Integration. And it's fun learning how to integrate things. Hey, thank you, beautiful. Look at all the like gauges or buttons, and it's like the perplexity of the duality. It's trying to balance it. It's yeah. There's so many different fucking gauges and knobs and. Floating bliss. You know what I just got out of that? It's kind of like, what was, you're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Brain fart. But it's like, the house getting pulled away in a tornado or something, right? Then using our ingenuity. And it's like, oh, let me just hop out of here real quick. Floating bliss. You know, you would have to stay pretty calm in the storm to be able to pull a MacGyver. Look how it kind of resembles a brain, too. What is that? The 90% that we finally learned to tap into? Interesting. Yeah, let's give these a quick cleanse. How you guys doing tonight? Happy Friday. Friday night. It's not going to be a long live tonight. I'm going to bed. I got work again tomorrow. It's not my weekend. It's not my weekend. I stayed at I didn't have to. I stayed at work later to resolve an issue. That it was really tempting just to kind of ignore it and just clock out and go home. But I didn't. Because, I don't know, it wasn't the right thing to do. It's what I wanted to do though, but it wasn't bad. Doing a lot of growing up. A lot of growing up. A lot of interchange. Phase shift. The moon. The phases of the moon. You know, the disruptions, you know, some of the phases, well, sometimes things have to get disrupted for things to finally settle how it's supposed to settle. It needs the disruption to shake things up. Sometimes just to bring things to the surface so that we're aware. So that we're aware of what needs to be done. Evidence of the inner journey, the shadow marked. You know, it's, well, when we raise it, you know, when it raises to the surface, it's, you know, we're aware of it, we can now see it, and it's marked. And now we're able to see, you know, we mark it. So even though it might go back into the shadows, we're aware of it now. And that's the first step, is becoming aware. You know, but then the surface noise. You know, once we become aware of it, we can't get distracted. You know, the surface noise. You know, it's the old programming. You know, the Matrix is always going to try to get you to resort back to the old programming. Always, 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 always. You know, it's really important to guard your thoughts because, you know, not every thought is yours. And, you know, with every thought has the potential to shift you in a different timeline, you know what I mean? And so, if you let too many of the thoughts that you don't prefer get in there, if you're paying too much attention to the surface noise, you know, it should be background noise, right? Because you're aware of it, but you're tuning it out. You don't pay attention to it. Don't pay attention to it. You know, we don't pay attention to the background noise. We stay focused. Stay focused on the target. If I'll Notice how it's like a bullseye right on the forehead too. Shadow marked. You know, we set our sights. And we slowly try and strive towards it, day by day. You know, sometimes we set multiple different ones. And we do a little work here, a little work there, a little work there, if we're feeling really ambitious, right? Other times we could only handle one, and that's fine. You know? And, you know, you're always gonna have more on, like, available to your plate if you need it. Like, you can always go up for seconds, right? And you can always say, I need a second to digest, right? You can. But you have to let your intentions be known and stuff, right? You know, you got to talk with your spirit team. You got to talk with the Most High. You got to build a communication, a relationship with them, right? Speak your needs. But be careful what you wish for. You know, if you think you're ace today, it's like, this is all you got? This is all you got? What else? What else? No, be careful. Be careful. You were warned. You always get what you ask for, but it doesn't always come how you expect it to. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You know, but that's why it's really important not to pay attention to the surface noise. You know, it's really easy to block your blessings. It's really easy to miss the lesson when you get too caught up with, you know what I mean, with details that really shouldn't matter. You know, but labels. We're so quick to label things that don't matter as important. And vice versa. You know, but what I'm getting is, you know, the target, you know, the first eye. First eye on the Most High. Not looking through our worldly lenses. Our googly fucking eyes. No, but it's also, you know, certain things you can't fight. You know, it's gonna happen. It was written in the stars. It's how it is. You know, it's gonna happen one way or another. Like certain things we don't have a choice on the destination, but we have a choice on how we show up, how we arrive. You know, that's where the free will comes in. That's where the free will comes in. Everyday mythic. You know, it's a constant thing, day by day, integrating everything. But also, you know, authenticity stood out to me as well. You know, it's in everything we do. We should be authentic in everything we do. But that's with everything. What was the conversation earlier? Anger. You know, authentically angry. You know, but it's also justifying ourselves when we have all the right to be angry. You know, a lot of times, you know, when people are in the wrong, they're going to make you feel wrong for feeling wronged when you have all the right to feel wronged. You have all the right to feel, you know, but it's sometimes it's, you know, that's a generational curse, is, you know, suppression of our feelings. And, you know, that gets passed down from generation to generation to generation. Because that's what it's learned behavior, right? It's taught behavior. And a lot of times we're not taught how to channel it properly because it has to go somewhere. And you don't want it staying in you. It's going to fester. It needs to be processed, but in a proper way.
You can do much better than me. After all the lies that I made you believe, when guilt kicks in and start to see the edge of the bed where your nightgown used to be. I told myself I won't miss you, but I remember what it feels like beside you. I really miss your hair in my face, and the way your innocence tastes. And I think you should know this. You deserve much better than me.
You know, Between Worlds, I'm getting multiple different things. I'm getting, you know what I mean, between this realm and the spirit realms, right? But what I was getting is like, betweens. It's, a Sigma. A Sigma that, has traits of a lot of different things, but in a class in and of itself. It's Sigmas don't need to. They had nothing to prove. It's actions speak louder than any words ever could. First off, but then it's some people don't need attention. They're not seeking it. It's like some people just don't want it too. But some people still have a quiet command. Their presence is felt. It's like their authority is felt without even, having to be reinstated like, alphas, always puffing their chests and look at me and I am this and I am this. And it's, yeah, buddy, yep. Yes, you are. Yes, you're the top dog. Yep, top dog. That's validation. Sigmas have self-validation. I know my worth. And I could give a fuck less what you think. Doesn't matter what you think. To an extent. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. But there's nothing to prove. It's alphas, they want the titles, and they want the this, and they want the, but it's the Sigmas get the certain positions and titles the same without even wanting it, just because of the character, just because it is who they are, right? And it's like, they don't have to work as hard as alphas do. Alphas have to work so hard. They have to work so hard for what Sigmas just get. Well, because their energy demands it. But diverse aspects. It's, but Sigmas have bigger understandings of things. They take other things into comparison, they think about other things, people's emotions, how it's going to affect others. They think about more than just me, and, profit. It's... with eyes wide open, they look, they see all the pieces for what they are. They know what they are. They're able to break things down. They analyze everything. They're not just surface level. They look below the surface. They read between the lines. They hear the messages behind the words. When you're able to have that understanding, the actions that you make, logically it doesn't always make sense, but energetically it does. Energetically, I'm at peace. Energetically, I'm not disrupted. We sit too much trying to fixate on the mental, but you're not always going to, especially people and their veils of deceit and everything, you're not going to, it's a waste of your energy trying to remove it. It's just go with what you feel. Go with your feelings. Energy doesn't lie. Energy can't deceive you. Only you can deceive yourself by not understanding the energy, but it doesn't lie. Energy doesn't lie. Quiet alert. Quiet presence, the way that your presence can be felt before you even enter the room. Who's that? Who's that? But a lot of times, Sigmas don't always notice, the attention they're always getting, because they're not seeking it. They're not looking for it. A lot of times they're trying to hide away from it. Unlike, alphas, which are looking for the spotlight, looking for the, pick-me's. Pretty much, it's just an advanced level of pick-me. Except they normally get that position, right? But prove. We spend so much of our time trying to prove things to other people. Try to prove our worth to other people. How much time do we spend trying to prove our worth to ourselves? Do we? We should. How much time do we spend between worlds? How much time do we spend meditating? How much time do we spend connecting with our higher self? Trying to understand ourselves? How much time do we spend guiding ourselves through these eyes? How much time do we spend guiding ourselves through this eye? Time. Time. We all have the same amount of time, but we don't all choose to do the same with it. It's all choices. Everything's a choice. We all have choices.
It's really good to hear your voice saying my name. It sounds so sweet. Coming from the lips of an angel, hearing those words, it makes me weak. Never wanna say goodnight, but girl, you make it hard to be faithful. With the lips of an angel, never wanna say goodnight, but girl, you make it hard to be faithful. With the lips of an angel. Honey, why you calling me so late? I think I need help. I'm drowning in myself. Someone turn the lights out. Or is it just another dark cloud in my head? 'Cause I'm that deep, my heart won't breathe. Deep down low, it's killing me. If I was scratched out yesterday, I've got so much I need to say. I think I need help. 'Cause I'm drowning in myself. It's sinking in, I can't pretend that I ain't been through hell. I think I need help. I'm drowning in myself. Cause I put myself through hell. I think I need help. 'Cause I'm drowning in myself. It's sinking in, I can't pretend that I've been through hell. I think I need help. I myself shut. My weakness is that I can't do much, and my scars remind me that the past is real. I tear my heart open just to fail. Drunk and I'm feeling down, and I just wanna be alone. I'm pissed 'cause you came around. Why don't you just go home? 'Cause I channeled all your pain, and I can't help you fix yourself. You're making me insane. All I can say is I tear my heart open, I sew myself shut, and my weakness is that I can't do much. And the scars remind us that the past is real. I tear my heart open just to fail. I tried to help you once, against my own advice. I saw you going down, but you never realized that you're drowning in the water. So I offered you my hand. Compassion's in my nature. Tonight is our last stand. I tear my heart open, I sew myself shut, and my weakness is that I can't do much. And the scars remind us that the past is real. I tear my heart open just to fail. I'm drunk and I'm feeling down, and I just wanna be alone. You should've never come around. Why don't you just go home? 'Cause you're drowning in the water, and I tried to grab your hand. I left my heart open, but you didn't understand. But you didn't understand. Now, this yourself. I can't help you fix yourself, but at least I could say I tried. I'm sorry, but I gotta move on.
You know, I can't help you fix yourself. You can't force anyone to heal. You can't force anyone to raise their frequency. You can't force anyone to do that. A mechanic to fix themselves. You can't do that. You can, you know, you can try to show them what you've learned throughout your lifetimes, throughout your experiences. Do this one as well. You can show them through example. You can be that example for them. But fixing myself from the propaganda machines, the lies, the verbal venom, the apartment building, a whole group of people with hidden agenda. Everything done in the dark always comes to the light. You know, and the betrayal hurts. Even when it's just like a confirmation of what you already know. You know, it doesn't, you know, kind of softens it a little bit, but it's still, you know, it's a wound. It hurts. You know, but gotta move on with my own life. You know, life goes on. You know, you learn to pull the daggers out. Still dripping in blood. You pull them out. And slowly, it heals. You know, but it's acknowledging it. You know, it's, you know, acknowledging the ways that we've been wronged. It's justifying our emotions for feeling, you know, the ways that we do. But it's also a releasing of the bonds. It's a releasing of the chains. You know, it's not, you know, it's the lives of others. It's not, we can't control what other people say. We can't control what other people do. But we have complete control over how it affects us, how we choose to allow it to affect us. You know, and every time we let it get under our skin, what the people's words, every time we allow it to get under our skin, we're attaching a chain. We're attaching it right onto ourselves. You know, it's the attachments that we make subconsciously all the time with our actions. False accusations. False accusations. You know, but it's also the false accusations. It can't withstand the storm. It can't withstand the storm. And you know, it's authenticity is the highest frequency. It's the highest, absolute highest. There's nothing higher. And you know what I'm getting with that is Jericho's walls. You know what I mean? Frequencies, frequency weapons, vibrations, take down a whole wall, impenetrable. You know, but it's interesting, you know, those impenetrable walls, right? People get really confident with the things that they say and do when they think that they're not going to be held accountable for it. People act a lot different than when there's even a chance, a possibility of it coming back to bite them in the ass. They act a little differently. But people's egos. People's egos. Especially when you get a whole group of them big ass ego motherfuckers together. Oh man. United they stand, divided they fall. Divided they fall, but they all fall. They all fall down.
Close my eyes, let the whole thing pass me by. There is no time to waste asking why. I'll run away with you by my side. I'll run away with you by my side. I need you, let go of this blind. Your face and how I fall into your eyes. The outline that I trace around the one that I call mine. Time to come for space. I'm clear where you drew the line. I don't need to solve this case, and I don't need to look behind. Close my eyes.
You know, not needing to solve the case. Not needing to see certain things from our worldly eyes. Closing my eyes. Energetic justice is the peace, the inner peace. It's not found through your worldly eyes. But it's the way that we kill the want, the need to see justice happen. And instead, we hold the frequency of it's already happened, into the equivalent that the Most High deems fit. Not us, because who are we to say? And so it should be enough just knowing that the Most High is going to, give them what they deserve. And you as well. But, it's a bond, it's a chain when you hold on the need to see it, the need to know, the need to, it's a bond. It's a chain. There's some enlightenment for you. Don't put those bonds on yourself. Don't put the chains on yourself. It's, you set your tension, you hold the space. I don't need to see it happen, but I know it is. I know they're going to get exactly whatever you think is best. And just keep it moving. I'm not thinking about it again. And then if it comes back up in my mind, I'm going to remind myself of that, and I'm going to shove that thought right back out of my mind. Because I'm not going to fester on that. I'm not going to sit there and dwell on that. If we sit there and dwell on anything, it's the lessons that we learned. Not the wrongs done to us, it's what happened for us, what it showed us, what it taught us. And for that, we give thanks.
So I close my eyes, let the whole thing pass me by. There is no time to waste asking why. I'll run away with you by my side. I'll run away with you by my side. I'm meant to let go of this pride until this echo in my mind. Until this echo can subside. Don't think we ever really got it right. Both you and I have always kept it bottled up inside. Can you show me what it feels like to give yourself away? Why can't I hold this feeling who picks me up when I'm down like you do? Why can't I let you let it out? I'm starting about you too.
Hey, thank you. You know, why can't I hold on to you? It's, you know, it's this Jezebel spirit. It's given, well, the Hidden Helpers spirit team. It's like this Jezebel spirit keeps trying to come back in, keeps trying to find a way in, but it's like your spirit team keeps kicking them out every single time. It's like they keep sealing everything up. Every time they find a potential weakness in the border, it gets sealed right up. It's, you know, your spirit team is able to see it coming. It's like they're always 10 steps ahead of them. Always 10 steps ahead of them. Surprise visit. The chaos. 10 steps ahead. The chaos intended for you, it's not going to have the intended effect. Weapons will be formed, but they will not prosper. Against you. They might prosper against the one that sent them, the one that built them. And it's not something they're going to be able to see coming. It's not something they're going to be able to see coming, but it's not something they're going to be able to get away from either. It's like they're going to be stuck in it, frozen. You know, but it's betrayal, but it's like, you know, it's outlined in red. It's given the blood was frozen. And it's given, you know what I mean? It's the DNA hasn't gone away. The evidence is there. The evidence is there. But it's also the evidence is there of your, high frequency. The evidence is there. The evidence lies in there. They're getting signs. It's you're raising your frequency. You continue to raise higher. And if it hasn't hit you yet, there's no way it's gonna, because you're not going down. Turn down for what? None of you low vibrational fucks. You know, I'm not gonna put a bond and chain on me because of your actions, your words, or this and that. I don't enjoy it, but I'm gonna persevere through it. I'm not gonna let it slow me down. I'm not gonna let it stop me. I'm gonna alchemize that shit. You know, it's the way that, you know, you learn to take things with a smile. And you're like, oh, that's all you got? Pussies. Thank you. Thanks for that energy. Appreciate it. I'm going to put it to good use. And it's like, you guys don't know what to do with it. That's why you're sending it to me. Fools. Fools. But thank you for your donation. Thank you. And gladly accept that tax. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then asking for more, too. It's just because you know you can handle it. It's, I don't know, it gives you that big, I don't know, the big spirit energy. I don't know, that extra confidence. Is what are you really going to do? What are you going to do? You know, it's the understanding that I'm the only one that can fuck this up. I'm the only one. Not you. No, not nobody. Me. Just me. We're the only ones. You know, that's why it's really important to guard the words that we speak, to guard the words that we think. Because it starts there. It starts with your thoughts, and then it goes to your words, then it goes to your actions. You know, but when we start slipping with the way that we're thinking, that's already a direction in the wrong way. It's already a direction in the wrong way. Command every thought. Guard every thought. Take command of every thought. You know, giving everything away. It's they're gonna want to try to get you to block your blessings. They're gonna get you to curse yourself out of your blessings. You know what I mean? To walk away from your blessings. You know, it's getting up in your mind and negative self-talk and you know, lack of self-worth and all sorts of things. Those aren't your thoughts. They're not the Most High's thoughts. They're not your higher self. It's not those. And if it's not any of that, why the fuck are you paying attention to it? Why are you even letting it, have any space in your mind? It shouldn't.
Back off, I'll take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone. I know that you are on that basis now. Thank you for love. Thank you for love. This is love.
This is not where you belong. I gave you everything. These people were they just wanted to drain you. You know, the chaos. It's just a part of the energy harvesting. You know, they weren't able to attach this Jezebel to you. But it's given at one point they were harvesting the energy from so many different ways. But one by one by one, every single way that they were harvesting energy is getting disconnected. One by one by one. Universal violations, spiritual violations. They faked around, and it's like they're finding the fuck out. Touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. you know, wait a minute. You know, can you slow down your healing? Can you slow down your healing? Because you're vibrating too high. You know, our attacks aren't hitting you. We can't touch you. We can't send any Jezebel spirits to you. You know, you're too smart. You're not just, you know what I mean, giving it away to any and everyone. But it's like, you know, the tricks that used to work don't anymore. For both, you know, you're not so easily fooled. But sometimes you play the fool to fool the fool. Sometimes you just have to be yourself, and they fool themselves. Fooling themselves. You know, they wanted you to, they were you trying to use their free will to impede on your free will and to get you to fool yourself out of your own blessings. But you're not the fool. And only a fool would have played you for a fool. And they're being shown for the fools that they are. Karmic fucking lessons. The whole fucking group of them. Whole group of them have no choice but to sit back and watch your miracles come in. Reaping what you sowed. Reaping what you sowed. And if you're getting all this ripe fruit and vegetables, where's all the rotten, spoiled shit that we threw at you? Where'd it go? Where did it go? It's like the story's already over, and they already have a glimpse of the ending. They're just waiting for confirmation. It's the storm to actually hit. The surprise visit. It's gonna come out of nowhere. It's even when you expect it, even when you're waiting for it. It's still certain things. They're not gonna be ready for the extent of what they're gonna get. Is what it's giving. They're not gonna get. They're not ready for it. You know, touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. Co-worker, you know, it's given divine mission. It's given the Most High is not too happy. That's for somebody.
skies. It's no surprise you can't do anything now. I need a way to separate, but I'm telling you that nothing will ever be the same. Now do you want it? Now do you need it? I'm too far gone. Trying to blame it, but I'm waiting. I'm telling you I'm bulletproof. Believe me, I'm bulletproof. You made me so bulletproof, and now I'm too far gone. I'm too far gone, trying to blame it, but I'm breaking. I'm telling you I'm bulletproof. Believe me, I'm bulletproof. You made me so bulletproof, and now I'm too far. I'm telling you I'm bulletproof. Believe me, I'm bulletproof.
Card number 1. Ace of Candles. Moses in the burning bush. Hey, thank you. Moses in the burning bush. Interesting how the cosmos are right there. You know, there's a belief that that the burning bush that Moses was around was a hallucinogenic plant, right? There's a plant out there that grows there, and it's hallucinogenic. And if it caught on fire and you were around it and you started breathing that shit in, what do you think would happen? You know, but then we tap in to other dimensions. We tap into higher, different knowledge, right? We start communicating with different things in those communications. You know, tripping, you know, hallucinogenics were a thing held done by all the priests. And it got to a point where everyone was doing it. Everyone was having celebrations and doing it. You know what they had to do? They had to make it, no, everyone can't do it. It's only for the priests. It's only for us. You guys can't do it. You know, and then that was a part of disconnecting. You know what I mean? That was just another way. One, it's, well, certain mushrooms and stuff, right? The way that it helps your brain, you know, proven to cure depression, you know, proven to reconnect parts of your brain together. Scientifically proven, right? But different dimensions of knowledge, tapping into. It's interesting. You know, but it's also yourself. A lot of us, you know, we're so much that we can't even explore in one lifetime. But so often do we not even go inward and explore ourselves to begin with at all. And you know what's interesting about that? You know what I was looking at this card the other day and I was thinking about? And it gives the impression that he only has 1 foot, right? But what if 1 foot and then the snow? And what I was getting was, you know what I mean, walking on the sands. But there's only 1 set of footprints. You know, it's going inward. It's walking with our higher self. It's walking with the Most High. It's walking with our spirit team. It's communicating with them. It's sitting around the campfire, telling stories. You know, so what are the stories we tell? What about the ways that we've tried to address certain things, but haven't been able to yet? I don't want to say failed, because no, we only fail when we stop trying. We just haven't been able to yet. Because we're still looking. We're still seeking. We haven't stopped seeking. I'm going to put a pause on it for a bit. But we don't stop seeking. We don't stop seeking what's already ours. What's already ours. You know, the only thing that's missing is us seeing our own worth. Seeing ourselves as worthy of the crowns that were always meant for us. The blessings that are always meant for us. The peace. The inner peace, not outside temporary peace, but true internal peace that cannot be taken from you. You can only give it up. giving it up. Giving up our emotions. Giving it up. Allowing others to have that power over us. Fuck that. Pick up your fucking sword and fight. You know, it's my emotions. You know, we don't have control over what others do to us. But we can choose to celebrate the lessons that we learned. Instead of mourning losses and, ooh, woe is me, what happened to me. What happened for me is something to celebrate. What happened for me is what we hold on to. Is how we perceive it. Is how we look at it. 10, completion. That's how we look at it. It's what happened for me. But it was all divinely orchestrated. You know what I mean? But it takes leaning on our own understanding. But the free spirit, it's following this. I just got a meaning for this card. This is my free spirit card. But it's following our hearts, our soul. You know, moving freely. But it's also moving freely through our emotions. But also alchemizing it. It's, you know, the situations happen. Oh, it sucks. Hey, I'm glad I learned that. And then we're back to smiling again. We're back to ourselves. But, you know, to the untrained eye, it's going to seem like you didn't miss a beat. With practice, because it gets easier. The more and more we release, the more and more free we become. But freedom, it's like a whirlwind though. It'll suck you right in. You get a taste of it. You all, can I have some more? Wait, there's more of that? I can get more? Oh shit, I like this. Inner peace. Inner peace is amazing. But inner peace isn't just given. It's not just given. Yeah. And people are always going to want to try to steal your inner peace. They're always going to want to try to rain on your parade. They're always going to want to try to piss in your Cheerios. But good thing I don't like Cheerios anyways, right? Yeah. Alright, I am going to wrap it up there. But thanks for tapping in. Thanks for all your likes, your shares, your comments. Thanks for all your gifts. And until next time.